1983 was a big year for Stephen King. I mean, three of his stories were adapted to the big screen: Cujo, Christine, and The Dead Zone. And you probably know Christine got a 40th anniversary release in theaters. I'm surprised The Dead Zone didn't get that either, because I thought it was every bit as good as Christine. Now, you know the term, with great power comes great responsibility? Well, yeah, even in this film, that term is presented well here. The story is about Johnny Smith, a teacher, played remarkably by Christopher Walken, who seems to have everything going for him. He's well liked by his students. He has a beautiful fiancée named Sarah, played by Brooke Adams. I like the way the film shows in the beginning, after class is over, that how crazy they are about each other. They're just, I think it's well played by Adams and Walken how deeply in love they are. But unfortunately for Johnny, Murphy's Law is not far behind when he gets into a car accident and is put in a coma. And he awakens 5 years later, discovers how everything is that he loved is gone from him. Sarah's married someone else. His teaching job's gone. But Johnny soon discovers that he's gained something else in return. He has the power of second sight. And it only happens when he touches somebody, like on the hand or the arm. He can see either the future, the past, or the present. I mean, he doesn't know what he's going to see. It's like putting it in the perspective of the audience. When he touches somebody, Johnny doesn't know what he's going to see, and at the same time, the audience doesn't know what he's going to see. So that makes it work better. And Johnny becomes sort of a celebrity, and and all he wants is just to be left alone. He doesn't want to be bothered by anybody. He doesn't. I mean, he does. Okay, I don't want to tell you any more what happens after that, but I'll just put it this way: it kind of feels like an anthology movie where he just helps some people after another until he realizes what his power is going to be greatly needed for. I gotta say, Christopher Walken as Johnny Smith is really good here. I mean, he's a good guy, but he's a good guy with an edge to him, and you see it on his eyes how much of an edge he has. I mean, Anthony Michael Hall played Johnny Smith in the TV version of The Dead Zone, and don't get me wrong, Anthony Michael Hall is good, but he doesn't have quite that edge that Christopher Walken has. I mean, he has it. I mean, Christopher Walken has it very well. And I like the vision scenes. They could be a bit jumpy. I mean, just like your experience, like I said, you're experiencing through Johnny's perspective when you. Sometimes they're well done for shock value. I mean, you're like, whoa, you totally didn't feel that coming, but when it came, you're like, the audience is jumping with Johnny. And the other supporting roles don't disappoint. Brooke Adams as Sarah is good. I mean, the scene I do like with Walken and Sarah is when after he comes out of the coma, she comes to visit him, and she says she got married, and you can see the look on Johnny's face. He doesn't like it, but he tries to be. He's understanding that she had to move on. I mean, it's like the way he's so understanding. He's not bitter about what she did. Well, he doesn't like it, but he understands. And the scene I do like is when they're talking, and suddenly they stop talking, and he looks at her, and she's like, "Please don't look at me like that." And he's like, "For you, 5 years have come and gone. For me, it's like the next day. My feelings haven't changed yet." such a great, such great acting by Brooke Adams and Christopher Walken. Now, other good supporting roles like Martin Sheen as Greg Stilson, uh, a politician who is liked by the community, but you get to see he's got a darkness with him. And I gotta say, even for a small role, Martin Sheen is watchable. You don't like him, but you just can't stop watching him whenever he's on screen. He just really, Martin Sheen even knows how to make a small role work. Oh, a little bit here's a little bit of a note here. Martin Sheen's son makes an appearance in the movie, and it's not Charlie or Emilio, it's Ramon. It's his middle son, Ramon. He's towards the end. I won't say who he plays. You'll just have to point him out towards the end. Herbert Lom as Sam Wezick, best known from the Pink Panther movies, is also good as Johnny Smith's doctor. I mean, he shows you he has this really caring thing about Johnny. He's worried about him. And it's not like he's concerned as a doctor. It's more like a concerned friend. Real good performance. Even Tom Skerritt and Nicholas Campbell are also good in their supporting roles as the sheriff and the deputy who asked John for help to help catch a serial killer. It was directed by David Cronenberg, and who was known as the Master of Shock. What do you know? The Master of Suspense, who writes... Well, he's not really the Master of Suspense. Stephen King was the Master of Horror in his novels, and the Master of Shock. Combination. It works beautifully! And there is a scene that really is made for shock value. I mean, it wasn't in the story from what I hear from when my mom read it, but it was done by David Cronenberg. I think it was added in the novel I think it was added to the movie just for shock value, and it's done very well. There are some changes from the story, which I get. I don't know if it would have worked for the movie, but what works for a novel doesn't always guarantee it's going to work for a movie. But Dead Zone is a pretty good film. If you're a fan of Stephen King, I suggest you give this a watch. I give it a 9 out of 10. Bye-bye.